Okay, so here I am. I hope you can hear me. So, for the other people watching, this is an improvised stream about Stockholm. Someone is planning her trip and someone just returned, so we just felt like talking about it. And there's an echo, so let me just take care of that. Okay. So, yes, we were talking about the first part of the trip. You can see Stockholm on the map in the background. We'll take a closer look in a few minutes. So the first part of getting from the airport to Stockholm is fairly easy. Gregory was recommending the Arlanda Express, and I do too. I'm sure I'm pronouncing it wrong. But it's really easy to find. It's when you get to the airport, you'll see signs and there are machines to get tickets. So it's really easy to get tickets. And the best thing, like Gregory said, and he's completely right about that, is to get return tickets. And then we were talking about the card or the app. I prefer to take the card because my phone battery is empties fairly quickly. So I prefer to have it on a card to make sure to have it even if the phone's empty. And but you can do either or both. So what you prefer? What you do? I'm sorry, it's already starting to trip up. So what's best for you is what you feel most comfortable with. It is valid for the metro lines, but also for some of the boats and for the buses. So it's really very all-encompassing. To get around in Stockholm, it makes getting around really easy. And well, we just ended another stream where it started out about chickens, and then we talked about Stockholm. And I talked about the boat. I said nothing beats the boat. On a pretty day, if you go from the National Museum, you can walk around and walk to Skeppsholmen. And then you can take the boat there towards Skansen, and it's really, it's such a joy to be on the water and it's nice weather. You'll see, Marilyn, it's going to be fun. So yeah, the app is really useful, and since I use my phone for filming and taking tons of pictures, I really prefer to have the card just in case. Yes, I think so too, Slusen. Yeah, it's a thing. The works in Slusen. The thing is, though, I was there, I think let me check the date. I think it's 2 years ago. And I didn't really notice. I mean, I noticed there was something going on, building and anything, but it wasn't really bothering the visit. And hello, Spare Email, welcome here. Welcome to Gregory and Marilyn, who are the persons I started to stream with. Heiner was in the other stream as well, but I'm not sure if he followed us here. If you are here, hello, Heiner. If you're here later, hello, anyway. So, yeah, it will be fun. And also about the airport, about Arlanda Express. When you arrive at T-Centralen, you will have to walk through the hall to get to the metro part. So it's a bit of a long walk, but it's very easy to do. There are mechanical stairs. I forgot how you call them, but it's really easy to get around in T-Centralen as well, in the central station. So it will be very easy. It all works out very easily. And then you can get the app or the ticket at one of the counters, and the people at the counter are really nice and helpful. So it will all be very easy to do. So that's the thing, though. It's a long walk through the hall and you think, you start thinking, where is it? How will I get there? But you will, and it will be easy. It's just a straight line basically. And you've seen it on the videos of Let's Walk Around Stockholm. So you can watch the videos there. I put the link in the description. Just don't do it now. Get there when we finished talking. Yeah. So yeah, it's really easy to get by. You'll see. I just put up some pictures. Let me see if I can show them to you. So this is one of my favorite places in the station. It's the... Okay, it's not quite centered. I don't know how to change how to change the format. But yeah, this is a picture of the central station. This is one of my favorite places. I really love the drawing on top of the shop, and then I love the flower shop thing. So yeah. And there are resting areas as well. There's a lot of benches, so if it's too long for just one walk in one go, or if you just want to take up the sounds of the people speaking Swedish, of everything, since you just got there, it's very easy to navigate, and it's a fun place to be on itself. Yes, the liquor shop is just right next. When I found that out, I just had to stop taking pictures and just started looking with my eyes instead of through a camera. But yeah, the liquor shop is there as well. It's a very nice station. People are really relaxed, even though it's a train station. I didn't see a lot of people running, you know, to catch the train last minute. It's yeah, it's nice to be there. It's a nice place to start the trip, and it was the same in the airport. It's a very relaxed airport. Yeah. And then if you take the metro, it depends on where you take it, but there are chances that this is what you will see. Let me pull that up for you. So these are some mosaics. There's at T-Centrale, there's the famous part that I didn't see when I got there because the metro line I had to take was elsewhere, but I did see these mosaics. And the whole wall is covered in mosaics. It's very pretty. It's a very, very pretty station. So yeah. Yes, that's what I did too, Marilyn. I stopped and I looked at the shops, and you know, you've had the trip, so it's nice to be somewhere where you can walk, but you can also take your time. Because once you're in the metro, you're in the transport again. So it's a really nice break in between the plane and getting to the hotel. And I really love to just sit there and to listen to people speak, but that's just me. You know, I didn't understand what they were talking about. It was nice to hear. So yeah. And then, of course, you get to your hotel, and yeah, it's nice to have a good hotel where you can take rest. And also, what I did is, I would split up the day in parts and then go back to the hotel to rest a little bit and then go back out. I would take a 1-hour break somewhere during the day. Yeah, actually, Gregory, you're right about the cake as well. If you have to be in Stockholm, but you don't have a lot of time, just visiting the station is a whole event on itself. Okay, so I didn't look at that, but I can look it up. Hammarby. Just that you can hear me typing probably. Yes, it is. Because there are so many metro lines and there's so many. If you stay in the hall where the picture was taken, it's just one big hall, so you can't really get lost there. But if you go underground into the metro, yes, there are a lot of parts. There are, depending on the train line you take, but it is. There are signs, so you can get lost if that's your plan, to just walk around without a plan and just to see where you end up. But also at the same time, if you know where you have to go, you won't get lost. So yes and no, if you get what I'm saying. It really is big though. It's really huge. You know let me see. Okay, there's different things. So I'm going to show you something else first and then we get to the train line. So there's this picture everybody knows. You know, this picture. On my first day, I was looking for that, and I didn't even get to see it because it wasn't on the lines I was taking. So yeah, it's huge. It's really big. The mosaic part that I was showing was in a different part of the station. So, yeah, so there are different ones. These are ones online. If you Google it, okay, those are not in Sweden. It's these ones. And you don't necessarily even get to see all of them. It really depends on where you are going. Now, where you are going, so it looks like it's the green line. Oh, that's funny. That's the line that he is walking. Okay, let me just get back 1 second here so I can show it in a better way. Okay, here it doesn't look green anymore, but it's a different side. But it's just one line, so it should be very easy to. It should be really very easy to get by. Yeah. So you can take a break at the station. As you saw, it's a nice station to see. I don't want to show too much either, because it still has to be a surprise. If you've already seen everything, then it takes away a little bit of the fun, I think. So here, though, what you can see is that you are in a good place because you can also take the boat from here to get to then you get off at Grönalund, and that's where the amusement park is, and then you can just walk this, visit these, take a break somewhere around this, and either go back to the hotel for a break or just continue. And you can take a tram here, and then you can go to Strandwegen, and then you can visit Oosterman, where the Saluholland is, or you can go here to Södermalm. So yeah, you have a lot of possibilities. That was a very good choice for a hotel. Everything is very easy to reach. Yes, yes, they are. The ones that I enjoyed were the one at KTH, KTH, KTH. I don't know how to pronounce it. And the one at the football station with the rainbow. Again, if I'm showing you too many pictures, and it's like you don't even need to go there yourself anymore. You've already seen it. So the nicest way is to just take it and to explore yourself and to be really in it. I stayed somewhere else. I stayed very near the Saluhallen. I don't remember the right address, but I do remember how to get there, how to walk there. So we're just going to take a trip on the map. So it was in Oosterman. It was in Riddergatan. So here we are. So my metro was here. It's here, Oostermalmstog or whatever. I know I'm not pronouncing that right, but the hotel was in this street. This is the street. And then, it was really easy to go into the city center or to go to the Salu, to the food hall, to the market hall. Okay, what did I do? Oh yeah, there was this museum here. That's right. And there's a little church. I think one of the walks went by there. And then, so you see, it was really quick also to go here, to get the boat here. And to walk around Strandwegen, whatever you can see, and then just take the tram here somewhere and to stop here. So yeah, that's where I stayed. This is the Saluhal. This is, I think, one of my favorite places. Oh, this wasn't there when I was there. It wasn't like that. It was already open. And there's a place I got my kanelbuller and coffee. And yeah, and there's a Java visit. Where I got some presents for my friends. Yeah. Yeah, that was around here. Yeah, there it is. Again, not sponsored, just a nice memory. So yeah, this is I think also why this is my favorite part of the city is because that's where the hotel was and where I spent most of my time. So yes, you're right, Marilyn. That's a very good reason to pick it. It looks like it has all the connections to where you need to and want to go. So it looks like a great place. Yeah. Yeah, I really liked it because they had some coffee and tea where everything was written in Swedish, and it made for some nice presents because going back with the app with the plane, you cannot take anything you like. If you don't have, well, you come from the States, so you have luggage, of course. But when you're just having carry-on, for example, you cannot take everything. So then tea and coffee are a nice present, especially since they have some local tea blends. So, yeah. And there are foods you cannot bring. Also, you have to, oh, Marilyn, yeah, you have to think about that. If there are things you want to bring from the States or things that you want to bring from Sweden back home, you have to be careful about what you are allowed to bring. I think you cannot bring fruit or certain. There are things you cannot take home, so you have to check before buying something. You have to check if you can take it back. Yeah. Gregory is talking about jam. I'm also thinking about honey because I bought some honey here, but I did pay for luggage on the way back because I did want to bring some liquid. I brought lingonberry jam and stuff like that. But you're right, Gregory. Yeah. So those are things to think about. But you do have carry-on luggage, so it should be easier for you to bring a lot of things back. But some things are really forbidden. And if they see it on the radar, on the control, they will take it out of your suitcase and they'll make you throw it away. So that's a waste. So be mindful of that. Yeah. Yeah, the metro is really great. It's especially if it's on a picture it's pretty, but if you're standing in the middle of it and it's all around you, it's really, yeah, it's something else. It's really immersive. Yeah, I think jam would be okay, but not if you only have carry-on. So you have to think of putting it in your suitcase that goes rather than to take it with you. Yeah, it's the same thing, spare email. It's about where you put it. If you have only a carry-on luggage, you cannot bring any liquids. So forget about honey and jam and things like that. If you have a suitcase, you can put it in there, and then it depends on the importation laws of your country. Yes, that's right. Sharp things. If you find cute scissors, I don't know if you have hobbies like sewing or something, or cute needles or something, you sewing things, or for me it would be mosaic things, or cute tableware with knives and forks. You'd have to put them in your suitcase luggage, and you cannot bring them in carry-on. So yeah, those are things to think about. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, you can break the for honey and jams. I think you're fine. You can take them back to America, but I'm not sure. You'd have to check on that. So no lawsuits, please. But yeah, those should be okay as long as they're not in your carry-on. Oh, Gregory, but it happened to me too. I think I brought fruit juice that I liked from, when I was in Ireland. I wanted to bring some things back, and then I wasn't thinking at all about those rules, so I just brought them with me in my backpack instead of putting them in the suitcase. And the worst thing is I did pay for luggage as well, because I wanted to bring back whiskey, which I did, which was in the luggage. So if I would have just put the fruit juice there, it would have been fine. But no, I put them in my backpack, so I couldn't take them. It was all chucked out. So yeah. Yeah, the thing is, if you see something nice in Stockholm and it's a nice souvenir for knitting, then you can buy it, but you have to think about putting it in the luggage rather than in the carry-on. So yeah. But it's all just a practical thing, not about what you're allowed to do or not. Yeah, I know, Gregory. So, it's just something, you don't think about. Fruit juice, I mean, yeah. So yeah, those are a few practical tips. Exactly. And also, pack less when you come here to have more space to bring back things. Because if your suitcase is already full on your trip towards Stockholm, you're not going to be able to fit in a lot of souvenirs, and you will be wanting to buy stuff. So yeah. So those are good traveling tips in general, not even just for Stockholm, just in general. So yeah, no knitting on the plane, unfortunately. And if you have an overlay somewhere, if you have to change planes, I don't know if you'll have to, I hope not, then it's practical to have some spare clothes in your carry-on luggage, just in case it gets lost for a day or two. At least you have some things to change into. Yeah, yeah, the coat, Gregory. Once I went somewhere a little bit further away, and I was wearing like 3 t-shirts and the coat like in the middle of summer, just because the suitcase was full. Yeah. So yeah, your coat story is very very relatable. It seems we are kind of like-minded with the jam and the coat. Yeah. Yeah, that's right. Also, the jet lag is easier when you get here than when you're going home. It feels like you have bonus time when you get here, and then when you go home, it will really hit you. Even though it will still be something to adapt to. Days are getting longer now, and opening hours are such that it won't really bother you too much. And it's also nice if you get up super early to walk in a city that's really quiet and then come back later and it's all the hustle and bustle of a big city, you know. So with the jet lag, you probably get both experiences, which is kind of nice. Yeah. Yes, that's right. That's true. But I do have to advise you, even if I'm not against alcohol, you know, I was talking about bringing home whiskey earlier from Ireland. But I do advise you to be careful with drinking because you are on your own, you don't want to get lost. And sometimes when you're tired or when you're somewhere different, it hits harder than what you're used to. You know what, spare email? I didn't get there in Semla season. I didn't know that it existed, so I didn't get any. Yeah. So yeah, I have to go back for that one. But the thing is, don't really want to go back in winter. So if you can get them all through the year, then definitely I'll get one the next time. Yeah, yeah. It's so nice when it's all. It feels like you have the city all to yourself, you know. So yeah, when you're up early, I mean. Yeah, but the princess cake is something you can get here from IKEA. And when I was younger, sometimes we would get one of those to celebrate something. So yeah, no, it's a good thing, Marilyn. It's better when you're on your own not to drink, or to drink something really light. But if you don't drink, then then don't start now. You know, and it's better to just don't. It's nice to have your wits about when you are in a new place on your own. It is safe and it's easy to get around, but it's safer and easier when your mind is sharper. So yeah. Yeah, it's always nice to bring something back for friends. I don't bring a lot of beer, even though I think Sweden would be more of a beer country. It's more things that don't have bubbles. I don't want them to explode and get it all over my luggage, you know. So yeah. Yeah, I didn't bring. I don't think I brought any from Sweden. No, for Sweden I was really very reasonable. It was tea and coffee, but in not in drink form yet. Just from the place I showed you earlier, and it was on the morning I left. I got up earlier to get some kanelbulle for people. So when I got home, we all ate some kanelbulle together, and yeah. And then I brought some typical touristy stuff like a t-shirt and stuff. Yeah. It doesn't happen very often, but I just, I'm on the over precautious side, so I just didn't want it to happen at all. And also, I asked the persons who I would have brought it for if they really wanted that or something else, so I got them something else. And they were happy, so yeah, worked out great. So yeah, if there is anything else you would like to ask about the trip, or just if someone has some more tips or for Marilyn or for anyone else who is planning on traveling and who will be watching this later. Please do share. There's a travel channel I like a lot. It's called Walter's World. I'll put in the link in the description later. I'll also put in the link to the Arlanda Express, or whatever it's pronounced. And they have good tips and tricks on traveling in general. And one of the tips and tricks I can give you now is to just enjoy preparing, but don't look at too much images and pictures and stuff, because it's nice to also have some surprises. Just, if you go on the maps to check out where you need to go, just go on the regular maps, so you still have some surprises when you get there. And the biggest tip really is don't pack too much. If you need an extra t-shirt or something, you can always get it, or get a scarf, That's nice to get something that's not too expensive, that will always fit. And you can use, because it will be windy often. It's next to the sea, although I have to say, since you chose this pseudo spare email, I'm not going to... Okay, but if you are the person I think you might be, then there's a big... Well, still, it's a different city. It's not Edinburgh. So I'm going to compare it to Edinburgh. Edinburgh is a little bit farther from the sea, and it doesn't have as much water as Stockholm has, but it's much, much more windier than Stockholm is. And the funny thing is Stockholm, you don't really feel the sea. It's like brackish water. It doesn't smell of seawater at all. But a scarf is always nice to protect you from rain, from the wind. So yeah. No, you don't need cash for bathrooms, and most places will take credit cards, so you'll be fine without cash. The only thing that would be practical to have cash for is if something happens like it happened to Gregory. But nowadays with email and international phones, if something like that happens, you can still arrange something with your bank, I think, to get by. The hotel is probably already paid for, and if you buy your return tickets for the airport, you can always get home. So, yeah. And don't get them in the States at some exchange thing. Just get them there. Often you'll have to pay for the exchange rate and stuff at exchange. What are they called? There used to be all these exchange counters, but it's not like that anymore. Things have changed a lot. And you don't really need it, No, you don't tip the hotel staff. You do tip in a restaurant, but not like in America, not as much. Oh, and also about the tipping, you need to do the tipping by card. So I didn't know that. When in the Salut Hall, actually we didn't tip at all. I was there with someone and we ate, and then I only found out afterwards, when I wanted to give a tip in cash, that I couldn't, because the only tips they took there when I paid with a card, at least at that place, perhaps it's different in different places, was that there's an empty space, and that's where you need to type in your tip yourself. I'm just trying to recollect now how it worked. It was, you know, how you type in your code and stuff, and actually it says the amount, and you can change the amount. So the best thing is to ask when you're about to pay, just ask, because once it's done, and you can't add another tip anymore. So yeah, there were a lot, several places before I found out that that's how it works. So there were, well, mostly the most embarrassing one was in the Salut Hall. Yeah, because that was a bit more expensive meal, and they were really nice to us. And I was there with my luggage. I met up with someone there, and yeah, that was really embarrassing how that worked. So yeah, but don't tip too much. You know, you can if you're generous, you know, but you don't need to tip as much as you would in America. So yeah, that's about the tipping. So is there anything else you can think about? Shoes, take comfortable shoes. Doesn't matter what you look like, if it's very elegant or not. What matters is you're comfortable. You're going to be walking a lot. Gregory did 63 kilometers, he told us in the stream on chat. So, you know, you may or may not do the same distance, but you will be walking a lot and standing, waiting for a tram or bus or boat, whatever. So you do need comfortable shoes. Now in Stockholm, I found that most streets are very comfortable. It's not cobblestones like here, but still, you know, you'll be walking a lot. You may also perhaps want to take a second pair of shoes, but that takes up a lot of space in your luggage. It's up to you if you want to do that. You know, if you have one day of really heavy rain, the next day you don't have to walk around in wet shoes. But that's something you have to figure out. Or you don't, and then if you really want to have extra shoes, you buy them in Stockholm. But that's something you'll have to figure out. Take your most comfortable shoes, no matter what they look like. That's my tip for you, for comfort. Yeah. Yeah, you have to be comfortable because your feet are going to let you know you're busier than you normally are walking. And don't forget to take breaks because you want to see it all, of course, all the time. But having a fika somewhere is part of doing it. So it's okay to be, you know, nice to yourself and treat yourself every once in a while. Take a break, have a fika, pick a place with a nice view, and that way you have your fika and you have your break, but you're also still immersed in a nice place. So that's another one. It's about being comfortable. So yeah, I think that's all I can tell you before your trip. Yeah, comfortable shoes are most important. You can always get another coat or another t-shirt or a scarf or something if it's windy, or an umbrella if it rains, you know. Those are things you can get, but the shoes are super important. Oh, and also, yeah, another tip. I don't know if you're someone who takes a lot of pictures or films a lot, but your phone will be. Oh, that's another thing. I was going. Okay, two things. So first off, take oh, I forgot the English word for it. An extra battery. So yeah, it is spare email. It's very easy to get through Stockholm by transport and walking. Everything. It's really easy. It's an easy to visit city. It's great to visit. Très facile à rendre visite à Stockholm. But yeah, so what I was going to say, take a spare battery for your phone that you can charge and that you can reload at the hotel. You can. They have really handy ones that are rather small that you can take in your handbag or in your backpack. And you need to have something. Oh, I'm just going to ask my husband. I forgot what it's called. Let me get back to you in a second. Okay, I'm back. So what I was talking about is an adapter for for your electrical appliances to plug them in, because the plugs are different. Normally, most things are okay with the amount of electricity. Sometimes it goes wrong. I had a curling iron, and I'm okay. I'm going to date myself here, but I was young in the 80s. So yeah, curls were a thing, and a curling iron was a thing. And even though I did have an adapter, and it normally should be okay, it it crashed. So yeah. So, yeah, you have to think about getting an adapter for the plugs, and you have to be careful about what you can. Yeah, the thing though is that now most modern appliances are made to be for traveling. Most appliances are made for the international market, so they're going to be usable wherever you are. So it shouldn't be a problem at all. But the adapter, yes, because the plug has a different shape and size. So yeah, I think those are the two things. And then, yeah, the power bank, that's it. Thank you, Gregory. That's what I was trying to, power bank. Yes, and agreed about the lunch menus. That's very true. So what you can do to save some money, if there's a little supermarket nearby, you can get one of the meals outside in a restaurant. I'm not talking about fika, I'm talking about real meals. And then get something light and easy for the other meal in the day, and some snacks in the supermarket. They're everywhere, little supermarkets, so you can get something very easy. Yeah. And it will save you a lot of money, not to eat out all the time. So, yeah. But that's up to you. I mean, you you travel the way you want to, and you eat the way you want to. It's just an idea to save some money. so you can buy more souvenirs. Yes, a lot of English language menus, and I didn't know about the hot buffet. Yeah, that's a good one, Gregory. So yeah, that's what I did. I had breakfast through the hotel, so that was part of the hotel, and then one meal through the supermarket and another meal somewhere in a restaurant. That's right. Now, the worst thing is I don't know how to pronounce that. I think it's Heimshop, but now all Sweden is going to laugh. It's I don't know how to say it, but that's the one. Yeah, that's the one you'll see most. It's funny though, huh, how some words look completely different, and then when you pronounce them, they sound the same, or it's the opposite. They kind of sound different, but then when you see how it's written, you see, oh, that's, very similar. So, yeah, it's like, you know, in Dutch we would say kop, but it's shop, like shop in English. Yeah. They're everywhere. They're easy to find. No, mine neither. I think there are codes you have to type in with numbers and stuff, but it's it's really way too complicated. Yeah. So yeah, if anyone has any other tips for Marilyn, other ideas, practical travel tips? Yeah, Gregory, on the phone it does it, but I'm behind my computer right now. My phone is too small for me to do all those things. My fingers are too big. I need to be on a computer to handle all these different screens and stuff. Otherwise, I would just push the wrong buttons all the time. Would be an interesting live stream, though. But it's true, on the phone it does that, and it's very practical. Oh, really? Does it do it? Oh. No, mine does it. If I type, for example, an E, I just tested it, I just get an E. I don't get all the alternatives offered to me. So probably your computer is more modern. That's good. So yeah. So I think we're almost at the end of the stream here. I think we've talked about a lot of things, practical things to do. You don't need to remember it all, Marilyn. You can just watch back if there are certain subjects you want to be reminded of. But I think it's basic, fairly basic stuff though. But it's just good to make a little list and to be reminded. So yeah. Yeah, on my computer it doesn't do it, Marilyn. I just tested it and it doesn't, so yeah. So yeah, it gets busier in Stockholm around 2, 3 p.m. It's good to know. So yeah, I think this is about it. Do you have questions, Marilyn? Are there things you would like to know? Well, it's always fun to share experiences and to yeah. It also it's nice to think back. It's for Gregory, obviously, it looks like it was a great experience, a nice trip, and for me, it was too. And it's nice to share. I think that's also yeah. It's really nice to share. Yeah. Yes, I agree. Spare email. They're super friendly and helpful, and I didn't, you know, I I didn't see cold or snobbish people at all. Of course, there must be because they're everywhere, in every country. But no, people are really friendly and welcoming, and yeah. And when they see you traveling, and they'll just be happy you're there. So it's fine. It's gonna be fun. Okay, then this is going to be the end of this stream. Thank you, Marilyn and Gregory and Spare Email for taking the time to brainstorm about this trip, and it's also a nice preparation for ourselves, I think, for next time. So you're welcome, but it's yeah, I think it's fun for everyone. So thank you, Marilyn, for yeah, being like oh, how do you say it? A guiding thread through this. So we, forgive me. Oh, I'm tripping up again. So thank you for giving this theme. That's what I was trying to say. It's really fun to think about Stockholm, to plan, and to so yeah. I'm happy for Gregory it went so well, except for the credit card thing, but seems like you had fun anyway. And I'm hoping, Marilyn, you'll have a great time. Yeah, and thank you, Spare Email, for sharing your information. Yeah. So thank you, everyone. Bye-bye. Have a wonderful day. See you the next time. Take care. Bye-bye.